Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel for the Law Office of Annie Scott. Topics and questions on the area of criminal defense. It has been a couple of weeks, I think, since we last had a chat, and so I've been able to get a few questions from some of you out there, and I wanted to come online and answer a few of those questions and see if I might be able to help a few of you get your life back. So, first up, one of the questions that I had was what cases and what charges may be eligible for expunction. If you remember, we did a small lesson or a small, not a lesson, but a small talk on expunctions and non disclosures. And the question was generally, what's eligible? And the simple answer is for an expunction, anything that has been dismissed or anything that a person has been found not guilty for. Those cases are eligible for an expunction. Another question that I had from one of my subscribers or someone who passed through and saw the page was, how old does a person have to be found or to be charged as a juvenile? And so in Texas, once a child is 17, in most cases, they're going to be charged as an adult. And so they'll be going to the misdemeanor or the felony adult court. But if a person is under the age of 17, then they are likely to be charged originally as a juvenile. However, the prosecutor for the state may want to try to certify them as an adult. They will consider the offense that the child has been charged with. And even if the child is technically under the 17-year-old bar, if the nature of the offense is such that the state believes that this child needed to formulate the mind and behavior or took the action as an adult, they can seek to certify. Now, that's a process. They have to present evidence, they have to present testimony, and a hearing and due process will be given. But they can, as you've probably seen in the news, certify that child as an adult. And so I hope that answers the question. And in order to be charged, period, I guess the youngest age is 10. Now, normally, if a child has done something and they're 10, they're not likely going to go much further than that because of their lack of maturity, their lack of knowledge, their lack of intelligence. But it's on a case by case basis. They will, if the offense calls for it, find that they have done some conduct that is in need of supervision. And we call it chins here in Texas. So that may be where they fall. It just depends. Again, it's a case by case basis, and we have to really know what they're charged with. We have to know what their state of mind is, what their maturity and their intelligence is. And so a lot of work goes into really finding out where they will land. Another question that's really asked a lot is possession of marijuana. Are those cases still prosecuted? And the answer is yes in Texas. Now, there's been some new legislation about CBD and CBD oil and CBD products. And, with that new legislation, it has caused some confusion in the area of marijuana. And so as of right now, it's June of 2020. There are courts in some of the smaller counties and even maybe in the larger counties where they still will charge a person with possession of marijuana. And they'll test it and they will try to determine if it's marijuana. But As far as I know, there are very few counties that have the capability to truly do a full in-depth test for the level that is necessary to charge with marijuana versus the lower THC count of CBD. So I guess the answer there is it depends. It's definitely worth an argument and worth a mention if you are charged with possession of marijuana. I will say that in my favorite county of Fort Bend County, they've decided that they're not going to waste their resources nor spin their wheels on on the marijuana cases right now. So they're really looking at and handling and prosecuting the larger offenses. So I hope that I've answered some of your questions. I hope that this information is useful to you. I hope I've provided a little bit of value. And I hope that you will return, that you will subscribe to my channel, that you will like this video as well as some of the others, and that you will return. And if you have any questions, please post them because, as you can see, I do come back on and I do answer them. Take care and be safe.